Now, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned on Wednesday that, quote, global warming is a global warning that we are on the wrong track and melting glaciers are the canary in the coal mine. At an event dedicated to the preservation of glaciers on the sidelines of the UN 2023 Water Conference, the UN chief noted that Antarctica is losing an average of 150 billion tons of ice mass every year, and the Greenland ice cap is melting even faster, losing 270 billion tons per year. Mr. Guterres added, quote, to put that in perspective, that combined total ice melt in just 1 year is the equivalent of a wall of ice fully 5 meters high, covering my entire home country of Portugal, end quote. Noting that glaciers represent the largest reservoir of fresh water on the planet, the Secretary General said they are also the world's water towers. According to him, nearly 2 billion people, 1 out of every 4 people on Earth, live in areas where glaciers and seasonal snow melts supply their water.
And also the world's water towers. They represent the largest reservoir of fresh water on the planet, supporting our nutrition, health, economies, and energy production. And nearly 2 billion people, 1 out of every 4 people on Earth, live in areas where glaciers and seasonal snowmelt supply their water. But these silent giants are facing a rude awakening. Let's stop global warming in its tracks. Let's help all countries build more resilient futures. As we look ahead to the International Year of Glaciers Preservation in 2025, let's act now to mobilize greater political, private and public will to conserve our glaciers and all they give to us.
And joining me now on What Now to discuss this is a water, sanitation and hygiene specialist in UNICEF, Lonis Salihu, who joins me virtually. Good to have you join us.
Thank you.
Right, so
good to have you.
I want you to speak to that statement coming from the United Nations Secretary General, where he said that global warming is a global warning that we are on the wrong track and that melting glaciers are the canary in the coal mine. What exactly does that mean? How much of a trouble are we in when it comes to the water crisis?
Yeah, thank you very much. With this statement, the glacier, of course, is like where we have water stored. And with the global warming, once this is being depleted and because of changes in the temperatures as we have, that conservation is gradually being lost. And that brings us to the point that we are having, especially around our own side in the African nation, particularly around Borno State here in the Sahel area, where by water access takes us to the point we call the stress point. And that stress point means there will be difficulty in getting the minimum basic quantity or amount of water that is required for an individual to survive.
And it's interesting, you already started painting the picture of the water situation in Nigeria, and you've talked about Borno State. But I wanted to speak generally as to the water situation here. We understand that access to fresh water is also a problem in Nigeria, especially because of hygiene and all of that. Speak to the water crisis in Nigeria particularly.
Yeah, the water crisis in Nigeria, according to the National Water Supply and Sanitation outcome for routine monitoring, that is the WASHNOM, presently the coverage for safe water, it stands around 68%. And when you go beyond that in terms of the access, you find out that it's really, in terms of quality, very, very low, because about 70% of the water that we take right from source up to the point of collection and ingestion is contaminated, basically with E. coli, and that is a very, very big challenge in terms of the water access in Nigeria.
So basically, if I hear you correctly, we have quantity, but we do not have quality. So we have enough water, but not safe enough for drinking. And I just want to refer to this year's theme, the World Water Day theme, which was yesterday. It says it is accelerating the change to solve the water and sanitation crisis. What sort of changes do we need to make as a country if we were to, sort of avert a water crisis, a major water crisis in the country?
Yes, from the national point of view, we have to get it right in terms of the policy documents that we have to put in place, and then draw the implementation strategy, and then map out the financial plan that will take us to achieving the safe water service to the beneficiary in the country. So basically, we have to move quickly on this. The crisis that is being talked about, ranging from pollution of water sources, drying of water sources, and then the conservation of the fresh water bodies. These are the things definitely need to put in place collectively as a nation towards designing a better future for water service in the country, particularly the safe water that we need for drinking.
And I hope we move quickly indeed. Thank you so much for talking to us. Water, sanitation and hygiene specialist at UNICEF, Lonis Salihu.
Thank you for having me.
Away from that, let's turn to the Middle East, where at least 19 people have been killed and more than 200 injured after a powerful earthquake shook large parts of Pakistan and Afghanistan. The 6.5 magnitude quake damaged buildings, triggered landslides, and sent people running into the streets. It struck on Tuesday evening, centered in a mountainous region in Afghanistan's northeast, near the border with Pakistan. Tremors from the remote Jum Valley were felt as far away as India. 10 of the deaths were reported in Afghanistan. A child was among those killed in Lagman province, near the country's border with Pakistan. There were 9 other deaths in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province in northwest Pakistan. Many families had been out of their homes celebrating the Persian New Year of Nowruz when the quake hit. The remoteness and rugged terrain mean that getting information about the extent of destruction or deaths in Afghanistan will take time. It is also likely to slow relief and rescue work. And out to India, where opposition leader Rahul Gandhi has been sentenced to 2 years in prison in a criminal defamation case. Mr. Gandhi was convicted by the court in Gujarat state for 2019 comments about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's surname during an election rally. He will not go to jail immediately as he was granted bail for 30 days and will file an appeal against the conviction. The Congress Party member of Parliament was present in court for sentencing, which comes a year before general elections are due. Speaking at an election rally in Karnataka state in April 2019, ahead of the last general election, Mr. Gandhi had said, quote, "Why do all these thieves have Modi as their surname? Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi, and Narendra Modi," end quote. And now to the U.S., where the Manhattan grand jury weighing charges against former President Donald Trump is expected to reconvene on Thursday. The grand jury is continuing to weigh charges against former President Donald Trump in connection with the Manhattan District Attorney's probe into the 2016 hush payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. No current or former president has ever been indicted for criminal conduct. Away from the U.S., Prince William, the heir to the throne of Great Britain, came on an unannounced visit to Poland. Prince William attended a meeting with Polish and British soldiers. The meeting was also attended by the Polish Deputy Prime Minister and head of the Ministry of National Defense. Prince William then flew to Warsaw, where he went to the Residence Center for Ukrainian Refugees in Warsaw to see with his own eyes how the humanitarian work is progressing. On Thursday at 11 a.m. local time, the heir to the throne of Great Britain will meet at the presidential palace, with the president of Poland, Andrzej Duda.